Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Look It Up podcast. I'm Chip Bowler. With me, as always, is my papa and co-host Tony Gudo. You can find us on YouTube under the Look It Up podcast and Facebook under his name, Tony Gudo. Now it's 4th of July week.
4th of July weekend, this weekend.
Yep, on Saturday.
What happens tonight? Tonight, the soccer game.
Soccer
USA.
game.
Who they playing? They're playing a two-name team. They're playing a two-name team. Bosnia or something, I heard. Anyway, if they win...
They're playing Bosnia and Herzegovina.
It's like the same one team that just...
It's one team, yeah.
One team that joined, two countries joined, I guess.
I guess.
I don't know. Anyway, that's who we play tonight at 7 o'clock. If you have time to watch it. If you don't, I'm sure most people will be watching it. I just wanted to mention it. Hopefully they win. This is a knockout phase, so if they lose, they're out.
Pretty much the only sport going on right now besides MLB.
MLB. There's not a whole lot going on.
So, but America turns 250 on Saturday.
250 years. We've been free. Here we go. My shirt says it all. Back-to-back world champions. We won both worlds. Anyway, the first war was the most important one, the Revolutionary War. And chances are, if we win tonight, we just might play who?
England on Saturday.
We're not sure.
On the 4th of July.
But it could happen. That could happen. That would be amazing.
That would be
anyway,
crazy.
I'm looking forward to 4th of July. We're doing a little barbecue over here with the family members, and I'm sure we'll be watching some 4th of July festivities from Washington, D.C. On television. And I guess the U.S. soccer team, if they win tonight, we'll be watching that too. So anyway, let's get to talking a little bit about, before we get to the Saints' last opponents, we got to cover that. I just want to talk briefly about SEC football.
Yeah.
I just saw a clip today from ESPN, and I wanted to go over it real quick. This is projected 16 SEC teams and how they expect the seasons to be this year. Top tier, they got Texas, Georgia, and who? The LSU Tigers. Top tier, the three of them. Contenders, Texas A&M,
Alabama, Oklahoma,
Oklahoma,
and Tennessee.
I think Oklahoma might be a decent
Tennessee,
team. You saw Madeira. You saw him during the baseball games.
Yeah.
How much muscle he put on. That boy looks good. I don't know.
Because I have Tennessee going is probably one of our losses next year.
I don't know. I think we'd be.
It's in Tennessee.
I know, but still.
That's one of the toughest places to play in college football.
I think we'll win 10 or 11.
Yeah.
So
but I'm saying one of our losses.
I think we lose to. I think Alabama's down there. I just read today. Another thing about Alabama, they have no top draft picks. Commitments for the 2027.
And they're not sure who they're starting at quarterback.
They don't have no draft picks right now. No recruits in the top hundreds.
They have two. I think Alabama has two quarterbacks, but they don't know who's starting.
Yeah, so I think they may end up changing coaches at the end of this year.
I think we beat Bama this year.
Yeah, I think we do too. Middle of the pack: Florida, Missouri.
Missouri's always
Ole Miss.
Missouri. Ole Miss is going to go down this year. I think.
South Carolina and Auburn.
Ole Miss lost all of their offensive coaches.
Yeah, they lost quite a few players too. So
and a bunch of players. So who knows? And they have a defensive coach in them now.
Yeah.
So
it won't be too productive. I don't think offense.
I don't think so.
We'll find out. Anyway, bottom tier: Vanderbilt, Kentucky, Mississippi State, and Arkansas.
Vanderbilt's going to take a loss.
They lost quite a few players, and I think most of these teams have lost.
But Missouri is they are middle of the pack because they're either good.
They win 9
They're either good but just not good enough, or they're really bad.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. But anyway, they got LSU, Texas, and Georgia at the top three. That probably
makes sense.
More than likely, that puts us in the playoffs. Puts us in the playoffs at the end of the year. So we'll have to wait and see.
I saw
long way to go, but we'll see what happens.
Because there's this guy. There was a guy on CBS that I saw, and he has us going 9-3, but making the playoff.
Yeah, I saw two predictions at 10-2.
He said
10-2.
Yeah, I heard him say 9-3, but we make the playoff.
Yeah. Well, I think we need to win 10 to make the playoffs. But it depends what other teams do across the country.
Yeah,
that's what you don't know.
And in the SEC,
the Big 12 and the Big 10.
That's what I'm saying. Like Georgia and Texas could be both 10-2, then we can't get in.
Yeah. So, well, you can still get in. I mean, it depends on what the other leagues have.
Yeah.
I mean, you could get in. But anyway, we'll see what happens. We're going to talk more about the SEC in the next month or so before the season starts. The NFL camp start in 27 days. 27 days from now. Most of the teams, most players are on vacation, but there's a lot of players stayed behind. And what they're doing, they're working out. They're working in gyms at home. They're working in gyms at their former colleges. Some are working in gyms at their NFL team.
There are, and I also want to say there is exactly 59 days until college football.
College football.
Week 0.
I think it's 70 days. I think it's 70 or 71 days before the NFL starts.
Yeah.
When the NFL starts, remember, it starts on a Wednesday this year, on a Wednesday. And it's going to be interesting. They got some very good matchups in the first few weeks of the game, the first weeks of the season. So we're going to look at 27 days from camp.
Like
next
I said,
week, we're going to start next week. We're going to look at all the NFL teams. We're going to pick out maybe 4 or 5 a week, and we're going to look at their schedules and look at the over and under. What do you think they're going to go? Are they going to win over the total that Vegas gives them, or under the total? We're going to start that next week, so that's for something for y'all to look forward to. I see 32 teams. We'll probably do 5 or 6 teams a week.
Yeah.
Try to get it done within a month. So anyway, we got 2 more Saints opponents we need to talk about. One of them is Tampa Bay. Shell?
Tampa Bay. Let's go to Tampa Bay. So, a lot of things going on with Tampa. They are... So they are now getting... they still have Todd Bowles, right?
Who?
Todd Bowles, head coach?
Yeah, Todd Bowles is
okay, so Todd Bowles is still there.
It could be his last year if you don't win this year.
But if they don't win, he could be gone. I was thinking about Morris from Atlanta. Sorry. But
yeah, he's gone.
Yeah. Buccaneers still have Todd Bowles. They also still have Baker Mayfield at quarterback.
Mayfield wants a contract.
Baker...
He's in contract talks now. He says he wants a contract at the end, before the end of these 27 days. So I don't know what's going to happen, but he deserves a contract. If you look at his numbers,
he's probably the best.
He should make as much money as what's his name, Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones getting $50 million. Mm-hmm. Baker should get $50 million.
So I've never liked Tampa.
I don't either.
I don't really like Tampa Bay Buccaneers as an organization.
No.
But
Tampa,
but Baker Mayfield, I like Baker Mayfield. I feel he is
I liked him coming out of Oklahoma.
He's a decent quarterback.
I liked him coming out of Oklahoma. I mean,
he's not the best in the league.
He was with Cleveland. That was the problem.
Yeah, he's the best in the league. I mean, he's not the best in the league, but he's a consistent quarterback.
Yeah, I think he deserves a raise.
The last couple of years, he has stepped up for Tampa.
Yeah, he hadn't got to the Super Bowl, but typically he gets them in the playoffs. So we'll see.
But
he deserves a raise, I think. But they lost their top receiver.
They lost their top receiver in Mike Evans, but San Francisco signed him to like a 3-year deal, and I'm like, does Mike Evans even have 3 years in him?
But the new guy from last year, was the receiver from last year.
Emeka Egbuka?
Yeah, so he kind of took over Mike Evans' spot.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a big loss or not.
But I'm saying, is this a loss for? I mean, this still could be a win for Tampa because they still have young receivers.
Yeah.
But then San Francisco's paying Mike Evans for 3 years, and I'm like, does Mike Evans have 3 years in him?
No, he don't. But he has a 1 or 2, and he's going to help San Francisco win some games this year.
I think so too. But I'm saying
he'd be a good fantasy player.
I'm saying this could be his last year, in my opinion.
Yeah,
it
could be.
I don't think he has 3 years in him.
He's trying to get a ring. That's why he went over there, trying to get another ring. But he did get a ring, right?
He got a ring with Tom.
Tom Brady. Yeah. What else going on with them?
They also, like I said, they have Emeka Egbuka as their top receiving threat, who racked up nearly 1,000 yards last season, which is decent
for a rookie. Yeah.
For a rookie, and he also has Chris Godwin Jr. and Jalen McMillan, and they are both young.
Yeah. And who's their running backs?
Running backs, they have Bucky Irving and Rachaad White still for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Bucky Irving is
I had him on my fantasy team, I think, last year.
Bucky Irving is kind of reminds me of Bijan.
A little bit.
He's a little smaller.
Yeah. He kind of reminds me of Alvin Kamara, the way he runs.
Yeah, he kind of runs good. Rachaad White is also effective in his running ability. Offensive line, they have Luke Gadik and a strong depth behind him. Defensive line, they added Ashawn Robinson and Al-Qaeda Muhammad. They also drafted Reuben Bain Jr.
That Reuben Baines, we'll see what he does.
So, who to generate more pass rush alongside Yaya Diaby. I'm sorry if I messed up that name, but that
some of these NFL names starting to sound like some UFC fighters.
yeah. Linebackers, they're adjusting to the retirement of Levante David. Levante David retired after last
He
year.
retired last year. Yeah.
They brought in Alex Anzalone from Detroit.
He left them. He left Detroit.
He left
He was
Detroit.
still there.
So
He was a
he's
Saints
gonna fill that void for Levante David.
He should, but he's got some age on him too.
Anzalone, he played for the Saints.
Yeah.
Then he went
Been a
to
while. Yeah.
but then he played for Detroit and he was decent. So who knows what he will do for Tampa. In the secondary, they lost Jamel Dean in free agency, and now they shift to young players such as Jacob Parrish and Zion McCollum to lock down the outside.
Well, we'll see what Tampa does.
That's about Tampa for.
And the last game, but it's not the last game. We do play Tampa again. We played Tampa twice in the last month.
In our last 4 games, I
Yeah,
think.
So the last, other than that, we play Arizona. Arizona's like I think week 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Arizona, to give you a little bit of, they overhauled in their whole offense because guess what? They let who the quarterback was? Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray left, and he is in Minnesota. So we'll see what happens.
But they have
with
Carson
him.
Beck now.
They have Javoki. They have
Jacoby
Brissett, who started most of the games last year. He's backed up by Gardner Minshew, and they got Carson Beck from Miami.
Carson Beck.
I don't know about Carson Beck. I still have my doubts.
He still
about
has
him.
his doubts about Carson Beck.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. Jacoby Brissett he's trying to get a contract. They're only paying him $5 million a year. That's pretty for a starting quarterback. That's very little. Matter of fact, Gardner Minshew is getting more money than he's getting right now.
Well, he's not productive enough.
He's productive. He won enough games. He won quite a few games last year. They need to pay the guy. You got to pay him at least.
You got to pay him. You got to pay him at least.
You got to pay him at least $20 million. At least $20 million.
He's getting paid $5.
And Minshew is getting like 10 or 15.
I say you get a starting quarterback should be making it measly around 10, 15 million a year.
At least 20.
I say 15.
Anyway, running back, they've drafted the best one out there, Jeremiah Love.
I
liked him. I wanted the Saints to
but
take him.
will their offensive line?
We're going to see what the offensive line does. He's expected to be the bell cow and the future back in that over there. Their rotation, they have Tyler Algier. They got from Atlanta.
Algier. Yep.
They got James Conner still there, and they got Trey Benson. So I don't
James
know if all
Conner
four are going to be there.
James Conner is a consistent running back. I like him.
Well, they got 4 running backs. I'm not sure they're going to keep them all, but they got 4 at this point. Right now, so far disappointing. Marvin Harrison Jr. has not done what they expected him to do, but they're looking forward to him doing something this year. And Michael Wilson gives Arizona a formidable starting duo. At tight end, they got the best tight ends in the NFL right now with Trey McBride. Trey just got a new contract, so he's making
Trey McBride is one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah, I think so. Offensive line, the trenches have been significantly upgraded. Left tackle Paris Johnson Jr. is now flanked by highly rated free agent Isaac Samula, and second-round pick Chase Basandes at guard spot. So their offensive line has been rebuilt somewhat. I think it depends on what goes on with the running. They're going to have a good running game. Remember, they got a new coach, too. So we'll find out what happens there. The interior edge on defense, the defensive line projects that be the strength with Walter Nolan and Darius Robinson. But the edge roughing room is widely considered incompetent right now because they don't have they're relying really heavy on Josh Sweat. They just got him back.
Yeah, Josh Sweat.
And Javen Collins and Baron Browning. So they're really weak at that point right now. I'm not sure they're going to try to bring other people in between now and then. Last year they gave up quite a few points with Arizona. Mm-hmm. Secondary is anchored by Buda Baker, and corner Will Johnson. The back end of the defense is deep and athletic, featuring highly touted emerging pieces like Garrett Wilson's. On special teams, they got kicking and punting. Units are locked down by Chad Ryland and punter Blake Gilligan. He was with the Saints too at one time, right?
Yeah. Blake Gilligan?
Yep. Anyway, they should have a pretty good season. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games. You look at their schedule, Arizona would be lucky, I think, to win 3 or 4 games. But they're rebuilding. They're in a rebuilding process. And, they could get lucky. You never know. Carson Beck or somebody could catch fire. And with the running game they got, you never know what will happen. I think it's the Saints win. I think the Saints win that game when they play them. But anyway, that's it for the Saints schedule. We looked at all the opponents, told you what we thought, read what the NFL and ESPN put out on them. Real quick, let's talk about the New Orleans Pelicans. Was their player they picked up? They picked up former St. Augustine standout. What's his name? Real quick, Pierre. His name is what he. They got the Pierre Bird talking about him because the Pierre Bird is the mascot, and the guy's name is Jaron Pierre Jr. He played at St. Aug, and he's a pretty good pick. I thought he was a good pick for number 58.
Jaron Pierre Jr.
Yeah,
out of SMU.
He's a good football player. Is what they say.
Basketball.
Basketball player, excuse me. And the coach said, not coach, DeMars, Pelicans VP DeMars, Joe DeMars, he said, we're looking forward to guys that have toughness, and we're looking for guys who really want to be here. And this guy really wants to be here. Of course,
now,
he's from New Orleans, he wants to be here.
And Joe DeMars is an NBA legend.
Yeah. I mean,
he played
I think they're going to build a team.
He played a lot of years. He played for Detroit, and he's from Louisiana. I think he played college ball at McNeese.
I think McNeese, yeah.
Yeah, he played at McNeese. So Joe DeMars knows what he's talking about. He's a basketball.
Yeah, we're hoping that the team turns around this coming year. I mean, they got several good players.
And they got a new coach.
Who's their new coach?
The old Orlando coach.
Yeah, he went to the playoffs several times with Orlando, but he couldn't win.
Jamal Mosley.
Last year, right?
Jamal Mosley.
Yeah, Mosley. So hopefully, Coach Mosley, he said, just telling me I might be on you about the defensive end, but that's what I want to do. Succeed in. He told Pierre. JD wants me to be myself. Come in here and be like a sponge and soak in everything I can. So I think Pierre's a good addition, especially for his hometown.
Now, if you look at the Pelicans roster, you would say that's a good team.
The problem is they play in the West.
But we play in the West, which is a very tough conference, and we play in a very tough division also in the West. I think our division is Memphis, the Lakers, and a couple of other teams.
Yeah, it's not an easy league to win in. And,
no.
And the NBA, they had some moves today. Of course, yesterday, LeBron announced he's not going to go to the Lakers. He
informed the LA Lakers that he will be opting out and he will be going elsewhere. But he is returning for his 24th NBA season. Now,
he's returning. I'm not sure where. I hear Golden State.
The options are, he said his agent, Rich Paul, said, was quoted on the Pat McAfee show to saying he's open to 10 to 12 teams.
10 to 12 teams. Well, he wants to go to where he can be a contender, right?
The top three, in my opinion, are Cleveland, Miami, and Golden State.
Yeah, I keep hearing Golden State, so I don't know. We'll find out, I guess, when it all comes out, when it happens. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's it for today. We had a little bit of a short.
I want to go over some of the free agents.
Oh yeah, go ahead with free.
There's a bunch of things
free agents. Here's some things that happened.
Free agency started 2 days ago, I think. So a lot of things going on. Celtics, they traded for Aaron Wiggins from the Thunder and Devin Carter from the Kings. The Brooklyn Nets got Julius Randle in a trade from the Timberwolves and Keon Ellis. They signed Keon Ellis. And the Charlotte Hornets, they re-signed Kobe White. They also traded away LaMelo Ball to the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yep.
That's a big move right there. Anthony Edwards could probably finally move to his position at the 2 guard.
Not that he's over there.
Now LaMelo Ball can play at the 1. And Colin Sexton went to the Chicago Bulls. No, he left the Chicago Bulls to go to the Lakers. The Lakers signed him in a free agency deal.
To take LeBron's place.
Yeah. And Tim Hardaway Jr. left the Denver Nuggets to go to the Heat. Tobias Harris signed with the Spurs. Kristaps Porzingis signed back with the Warriors. Marcus Smart signed with the Houston Rockets to a 2-year deal. Kelly Oubre Jr. went to the Indiana Pacers. Grady Dick and Brandon Ingram went to the LA Clippers as they traded away Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors.
The Raptors, yep.
Back to the Raptors. So, Lakers, they re-signed Austin Reeves to a 4-year deal. They also signed Walker Kessler, Quentin Grimes, and Colin Sexton. They lost Luke Kennard and Jackson Hayes.
So they're revamping pretty much.
Yeah. Memphis Grizzlies, they lost John Morant to the Blazers. They traded him to the Blazers. That was the big one that I talked about last week was Miami. They got Giannis.
Yep.
One of the best players in our league.
That's why they want LeBron, to help him.
They want LeBron to go. And Pelicans, they re-signed DeAndre Jordan to a 1-year deal.
That's what people I was talking about earlier before
Yeah,
we got
but-
on there.
And Mitchell Robinson to the Celtics from the Knicks, who just won the championship.
Yep.
But he went to the Celtics. And I believe the 76ers just traded for Jaylen Brown. Is that correct?
I just saw that earlier today.
Yeah, they traded for Jaylen Brown from the Celtics.
Yep.
So
That's a big move for them.
that's a big
That's a
move.
big loss for
Celtics.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's their second best player, in my opinion.
Okay, that covers it for today. We
Yeah.
want to thank everybody for listening. Please let people know we're here.
Yep.
Let people know what we're going to start doing next week, because next week will be important. We're going to start looking at every NFL team. We're going to start at the worst team and go up. And we're going to look at the roster, what we think happened, and then we're going to predict what we think the over and under is going to be on the total wins and losses. Most people will be interested in that, especially if they put any money on the games. If you ever put money on the games, what do? You only bet what you can afford to lose. But a lot of people bet the over and unders. I do, especially early in the season right now. You start looking. Of course, I always wait till after camp, because you never know about injuries and whatever happens, so you don't make any bets this early. But we can start looking at it at this point, and we're going to start doing that next week, probably 5 or 6 teams next week, and we'll move on, because there's not a whole lot else for us to cover at this point. We're just going to do that. By the time we finish, it'll be training camp, and we'll start talking about training camp.
And next week is fight week.
Next week's fight week, so we'll talk about the UFC. What's
Talk
going
about
on
the
there.
UFC. Yeah.
But anyway, thanks for watching. You can find us at 2 different places.
YouTube, or Look It Up Podcast, and
On
Facebook.
My Facebook,
under
Tony
his
Guda.
name.
If you need to look up something, what do?
You look
Go
it
here
up.
and you look it up.
You look it up on
Just
whatever
like we do.
device.
Whatever device you have. Remember, we're here. Let other people know we're here. We appreciate you helping us and sharing us. And go USA tonight. Take
Go
care.
USA. Good night.